Hello and welcome back. Today we're looking at the Morian boss in Tower of Arrogance on hard mode. Her main features are that she does more damage the more health she has lost, and she also has a heal. She does have additional monsters on the map, but we don't really worry about that. The main way we're going to get around this is by using an Ingwe to tank because of his elemental disadvantage. Other options are available to you. You could probably use a Vulcan or anyone, as long as you're not anyone, but as long as they have are likely to be attacked by the boss, this will work. Then we've got two dotters to position. Freya here for invincibility, and her dots invincibility may be needed at some point, depends how strong your tank is, but she's got dots there as well. And then Lakshmi for her general heals and also sort of side tanking the adds. We'll get into the fight and then you'll see what I mean. I'll explain it, because most of this fight is about the initial setup and your positioning and just keeping your tank Ingwe alive. Other options for these heroes, I'll go through that at the end when we look at our characters. So let's get on with the fight. Okay, so to start with, we need to get our positioning correct. We've got Ingwe up the top, and that's where he's going to stay. And then what we also need to do is actually keep all of our dotters in range of the boss. So we're going to start off, we're going to move Lakshmi across one, and then move Elaine across one. Let's move her across now. She can just defend up and she'll start tanking these additional heroes. Then we'll get Elaine in position, and this is where we want to keep everyone from now on. And what we're going to do is we're going to lure the boss in into position next to Ingwe at the top. Ingwe, just pass in turn. Don't think about this too much. Click the button, man, come on. There we go. There we go, boss is in position. So now we have the boss where we want her. All of our dotters are in range of the boss. We've got invincibility available to Ingwe if he needs it. Lakshmi's down here with the heals, and it's just a case now of firing through and using up your moves. Don't hit the boss with Lakshmi's A1 unless adds have filled all the slots at the top, or you will knock her out of position. We don't need to heal yet. We can put our dots down. See how we go. Ingwe's starting to get some debuffs put on him. He's not taking much damage at the moment though. There we go, and we can just transfer some of those debuffs back using our A1. Unfortunately none of those landed on the boss, but as you see some went on the adds. Keep putting those dots in, and now we're going to use this on ourselves so we get an extra heal. So one heal, and then we can attack the boss now because she's blocked off from moving. Two heals. Ingwe's nearly back to full health again. We can just cycle through these dots. Now might not be the best time to use invincibility because you haven't, Ingwe's not in trouble yet, so no point in wasting it. Save it until you think you need it. But just be aware that that boss damage does seriously ramp up once she starts losing health. Like once she's past halfway, you might want to get your invincibility on Ingwe. We can pass some of these dots back. This is all going well. Using those turns on Lakshmi to heal and just applying the dots. We haven't focused on the adds at all unless they're in range of Lakshmi. Yeah, time for invincibility perhaps. That was probably a bit early actually. I could have waited another go, but as you can see, Ingwe was already 2/3 health, and the boss is about to take a turn. There was potential there for the boss to kill Ingwe, so that might have saved his life then. Otherwise, he probably would have been on a very low health by now. Yeah, just send the dots back. Keep putting those dots down. We're getting nice healthy stacks of dots on the boss here. This is really good. Even more dots, and as you can see, some of these adds are getting low already. They're all just going to die just passively from these dots being sent back their way. This next time the dot boss takes a turn, it's not going to die yet, but it's going to be close by the looks of it. We've got now a full debuff bar. That was close, so we nearly killed the boss then. So next turn the boss is going down. Ingwei's still alive. This match is over. It's just a matter of time. So we'll just cycle through our moves, put dots on, you know, play the game, just keep putting the dots on. Get the heals up. I probably could have just passed ended turn on all these just to speed it up rather than actually attacking, as I'm sure this fight is already over. Last go. There we are. Excellent. Okay, let's look at Freya for a start. We've got her skilled up just so that she's got her cooldowns reduced. And then on runes we have accuracy, speed and tankiness. Do not worry about the earthquake runes, although you know they might, her AoE might hit some of the additional monsters on this, so it could become useful, but don't worry about that too much. Then we have, I used Ingwe. My Ingwe isn't as tanky as Ingwe's can be because mine is actually on a crit build because I use him for solo farming Fafnir 11 and I like him to do more damage rather than be tanky. But as you can see on his stats, he's still got 6k. His speed's not very good, but he's also, his skills, he has the counter attack passive, and his A1 also sends back debuffs that are on himself. So as he accumulates those continuous damages, he can send them back to the boss, so that's why he's very useful. You could use Vulcan in his place if you have one done up this high, although I don't think he'll be quite as effective, but he'd have to be pretty tanky. Mine's built for soloing Agalos 10. He's got resistance and defense. There are many other builds for him. Other options, you have to think about the elemental disadvantage from the boss. The boss is fire, so you're not going to be able to use Hildegard because the boss isn't going to target her. He'll go for other people, unless of course you set up the rest of your team. But you know, based on this general setup that I've got here, Hildegard won't be any good. But if you maybe had Titania or one of the light tanks, they might be viable. You know, you can see what I mean. But Ingwe, hopefully you pulled Ingwe and you have him. I don't like to use Nat 5s in my guides very often, but you know, hopefully you have him because he's such a popular hero. Then we will move on to Lakshmi. As you saw in the fight, she was mostly used for heals and for a little bit of side tanking, so those additional monsters go after her. Mine's very fast. She is skilled to the point of all her durations and cooldowns are lowered, but no further. She has resistance, speed and some tankiness, which is very helpful. If you didn't know, Lakshmi is a free-to-play hero that you get after 5-6, I think it takes 6 or 7 actually weeks of doing the guild store. You buy her fragments in the guild store, you get 30 a week, and she takes 200 to summon, so it's 6 or 7 weeks depending on whether you do buy them all or not. But as I've said in my other guides, especially in my free to play beginner guide, get her as quickly as possible. She's fantastic. Next we will go with our daughters. I have gone with Elaine and Valkyrie. You can use other ones, but you just have to be a little bit aware of the minions, the additional, let's call them minions, the minions going after your daughters. Because these two are water, they won't get targeted by the boss and they won't get targeted by the minions. Mine has got accuracy, speed and tankiness. She is max skilled because she's a nat 3 star, so I've just thrown dupes at her, but don't worry too much about that. And then Valkyrie, who is a natural 4 star and very common and very strong. She has got accuracy, speed and crit rate. Crit rate because her A2 does continuous damage as long as it's a crit. And then her A1 is just continuous damage. So there you go, our two daughters. As I say, you can use other daughters, other ranged daughters, but you have to be elemental aware on this fight. So it's up to you, see how you get on if you don't have these. But you know, nat 3, nat 4 star, the chances are you've got them. I hope this guide helps. This boss wasn't the hardest. I beat her on my second go, And I've never done her before. I've never seen the Morrigan, obviously floor 50 in normal ToA, but she's just a cakewalk in that. But I've never seen her in hard mode before. This is my first time doing her, and I've not seen any other guides for her either, so hopefully this does help you. And until the next one, I'll see you in game.